Hello classmates in the Harvard Fintech online short course. This is your fellow classmate Laura Stiles, and I'm here to talk about case number 3, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, a tool for Juvo's financial inclusion in the telecom industry. So let's start with getting to yes. Getting to yes is the strategy that Juvo has in creating a financial identity and a path to financial inclusion for the world's underserved population. Mobile network providers have seen revenues drop by over 40% in the last decade. In addition to that, did you know that over 70% of global phone usage is on prepaid accounts? Well, what does the former have to do with the latter? I believe it's Juvo. Financial data as a service. Juvo utilizes advanced data science and machine learning to build financial identities for the 3.9 billion people today who lack a formal financial record. By creating these identities, Juvo closes the gaps for businesses to trust their client and the consumer. The current application is well suited for the mobile network operators and financial institutions to embrace the technology and engage with more customers. Good business for the businesses and good business for the clients. The challenge for Juvo is to determine which markets to focus more heavily on and which products to offer in order to create financial identities for the underserved but the worthy. So a little bit more about that mobile network operator. From this you can see that over the last decade their revenues have severely declined, almost in half, and the prospects for the future are not going to be much better unless they change and do something now. So, what's the premise to that? What has been their experience and how can we change that? Well, specifically, they've seen this revenue decline due to commoditization and over-the-top competitors such as Facebook and WhatsApp and Skype, among others. And they've been hitting at their core revenue base. But if they have a way to take these prepaid accounts, which we already mentioned is over 70% of the mobile phone subscribers, if they could expand the airtime to these people, they would have more revenue. Another pathway is to have additional services. If they can take this microfinancing that they're providing through potentially this airtime and extend it into mobile phone financing and even consumer and business loans, they would have a whole nother business model. The likes of Facebook are going to do this with the product they're calling Libra, so that the time to act is now for the mobile network operator. Why protect the pie that isn't getting any bigger when you can actually expand your pie and have more revenue? That's what I believe the mobile network operators should do. The other thing that's affecting them is the expense of working on antiquated systems. Remember that flip phone? Well, a lot of these prepaid providers are using their flip phone. It's very expensive, the networks that these operate on. They can move to the smartphone, be a lot more economical. And having a product like Juvo, which provides you access to credit, you might be able to get to the smartphone. So let the games begin. Financial identity created through gaming technology. Gaming technology is actually quite an exciting technology. It's exciting for the consumer and it's also exciting for those who provide it. The best way to talk about it is through example. Steve Polsky, the CEO of Juvo, likes to talk about a client of theirs named Jackie in Jamaica. And I'm going to expand that a little bit and talk about a market that I know, which is Eastern Europe and Russia. And I'll talk about Masha in Moscow, the Moscow region to be exact. Imagine you're a woman, a single mother, and you're living in an apartment building outside the major city, but pretty much in the middle of nowhere. You have a prepaid account on your old flip phone, and it's midnight on a Saturday, and you desperately need to get a hold of your daughter Masha, but you can't. Well, if you had access to a product like Juvo with your mobile network operator like Vion or Megaphone or MTS, you would be able to get microcredit on your phone in order to use the phone for an additional 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes. And then you would have the ability the next day to go to your retail store, which might be, an autobus ride and 20 minutes away, to top up your account. But if you do this, you get a reward, this gaming technology. You get a bronze award. And the more you do it, the more you borrow on this microcredit airtime, and the better you do in that you're paying it off, you'll get more time and more credit. You can go from bronze all the way up to silver and then to gold and maybe even to diamond. And eventually, based on your income and what you do, you might even be able to get financing in order to buy a new smartphone. And if the mobile network operator is really working in the right way, they can work with financial institutions and via the phone applications actually provide consumer and business loans. I believe this is the pathway for the mobile network operator, and the gaming technology is well suited to make this happen. So, if you look about the future opportunities for Juvo and what they should do, well, partnerships are key to this innovation. And Juvo is actually doing a great job with this right now. They're working with the likes of Telefonica in different markets. They're working with Sprint. They're working with cable and wireless, with the Flowland product specifically in the islands and other parts of the world. So good for Juvo. They're doing a great job, but they really do need to expand their footprint with the top 30 mobile network operators, which means expanding in Asia and also in Eastern Europe and Russia to access more clients and provide more of this microcredit. I have another outlier idea, and it goes in line with what Juvo is talking about with regards to increasing access to a financial pathway to the world's underserved. So I'm talking about Juvo working within the realms of the World Bank and the United Nations and other global institutions' millennial goals. They had an original millennial goal in 2015 to reduce extreme poverty to less than 3%. The good news is they achieved that. But if you look at the goals for 2030, which is a 0% rate, they believe that they can do it in some markets, but one market that they'll have a very hard time achieving this goal is in sub-Saharan Africa. The global NGO, a non-governmental organization, CARE International, is trying to address these issues, and they're working actually with other companies like Orange and local financial institutions. The backdrop to this is that in 1991, CARE created a village savings and loan program throughout Africa and in other markets, and they have over 8 million participants in this VSLA at this point. So what is it? It's basically very simple. It's a lockbox. It's a metal box. It's got 3 locks on it. It has 3 people who are in charge of the box. And within their village, say, for example, you have a village of 100 women and another 100 men, they take care of the money. And they save, they lend, they pay interest, and they create their own little microeconomy where they don't have access to financial institutions. It's gone so well that now it's time to actually move this forward. CARE has developed a model with another company within their support called Chimoka in Tanzania. And what they're doing there in Tanzania is that they've created a digital software program where they can actually move from paper to digital records for the Village Savings and Loan Program. And what does this do? It starts to create a financial identity. So my proposal is that in sub-Saharan Africa, that Juvo partner with the likes of Orange and CARE, and they cooperate to further extend this microcredit that Juvo can allow them to achieve through the mobile phone service and better create the financial identity and help meet these World Bank and United Nations goals of having extreme poverty reduced to 0% in the year 2030. So overall, from a commercial standpoint, I believe that we can really get to yes with Juvo. Juvo has a fantastic opportunity with the world's mobile network operators, those 30 large ones. They need to really penetrate that market and achieve microfinancing for the prepaid accounts. Let's move people from this phone to a smartphone and increase their access to financial well-being and health. So I say yes to Juvo.